Hi, welcome back to another brand new edition of Political Points on local2.ca. We're on the March 17th edition. Coming up in April, we have a tribute to our CAO, and the new president of the Economic Development Corporation, Tom Dodd, will be here on this show. But for the March 17th edition, I'd like to introduce our darling, marvelous Mayor Debbie Amaroso. She's back, and she'll be back a lot more on this show. Thank you for making time. We were a couple of days before the India trip and giving our viewers a first-hand glance at what's going to happen. A lot of people think that $50,000 is a lot of money to spend, but they need to really look at themselves and ask questions of what Essar Steel has meant to this community. This is something you need to do, kind of.
Yeah, and you know, this is our largest corporate sponsor here, and a corporate partner here in Sault Ste. Marie, and we absolutely need to go and thank them, and we also need to go and look at the other enterprises that they have that could fit nicely here within Sault Ste. Marie. So we'll be touring 3 of their plants,
right,
and having a look at if there are opportunities that can come here and create employment and expand our tax base and do all of the things that are necessary for us to grow and prosper.
Now, for those that don't know, Essar Steel is owned by a family, if I understand correctly.
Yep, the Rio family.
In India?
Yeah, they won the Businessman of the Year award in 2010, so a very impressive businessman, very high-level enterprise, and again, not just in steel, but they have some businesses in energy, I understand, and some other ventures that we really want to have a look at. So we'll be touring on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There are 3 plants.
Right.
And then on Monday, we'll have an opportunity to sit with the family and with the executives and, you know, just have a full-level discussion about what we can offer,
right,
and what they may have available and are willing to bring to Sault Ste. Marie. They're thrilled to be our corporate partner here, and they know that this is a good community to invest in. They know that they're going to have the workforce that's required and the cooperation that they need. So I think that they're quite open to looking at what other opportunities are available.
That's right. They did their homework on this community, and they didn't just pick it out of a hat here.
Well, and not just doing their homework. I mean, they've experienced for the last how many years exactly what they get when they're a business partner with Sault Ste. Marie, and it's been nothing but positive.
The family has been here, too, from what I understand.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. I haven't met them before, so I'm quite looking forward to it.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about the budget. When you come back, it'll be budget time heading into April. So there's
my favorite time of the year.
There's no downtime for the mayor here. How do you feel about those that feel that the budget should be line by line and moved up a little bit in the process?
Well, there's certainly that debate, and you know, we're certainly encouraging staff to make sure that the budget is attached to the website, so people who want to see line by line can actually see that. I'm not sure that in setting the actual rate that's an exercise that we need to go through, but there's a lot of opportunity to vet the budget through the Finance Committee,
right,
so which is made up of there's 4 or 5 members of council on that committee,
right,
and it's not to keep it away from the public eye, but to really have a look at the entire thing in that fine-tooth detail. So, you know, it's really whatever council wants. I have surveyed them all, and there have been a couple of people that have requested that line by line, but it's not the majority that's been asking that. So the ones that have been asking line by line will certainly have the opportunity to do that.
Right. And you're giving people input more than ever before in the history of this community to voice their concerns.
Sure, you know, and we have to know what's important to the people of this community. There are a large portion of individuals residing in this community that are on a fixed retirement income. And, you know, an excessive burden in taxes on top of the burdens that they felt this year with the HST and those issues, that certainly the any additional burden could force people out of their homes, and certainly that's not what anybody wants. We want people to be able to stay in their home and live the lifestyle that they choose to live. And having people not be able to stay in their homes impacts a whole lot of other issues, long-term care facilities, hospitals, all of those kinds of things. So we need to work really hard to make sure that whatever tax rate we put in place is what the community can deal with.
And you mentioned before our taping too, an important part of it is that if you go too early, you don't get to see what other communities are doing.
Yeah, there's an absolute benefit to looking around the province and seeing how people have looked at their budgets and what they've done for cost saving and increase effectiveness, and taking that information if it's pertinent for us and utilizing it. So, we're running on same as last year thought process, right. So it doesn't really have a huge impact right now, and it'll be early enough in the year that if there are reductions, we'll be able to make sure that we absorb those.
Exactly. It won't put you behind in the process.
No.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Debbie, for
You're
coming on the show.
Thanks for having me again.
Safe travels to India.
Hey, watch for the book, India in 6 days.
Exactly. That's coming out in a couple of years.
Couple of years.
That's our wonderful mayor of this community of Sault Ste. Marie, Debbie Amaroso, and she'll be back again after her travels in India. And we have Porter Airlines coming up and the 100th anniversary of this community. So lots of fun stuff happening right here on Political Points. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.